I had to relearn how to relax on Saturday or Sunday or in the evening to say, oh, I'm not gonna work into this evening. And I could see the shift in that, allowing that, it opened up even more.
The desire was actually just for different, like no more hustle, like no more grind, no more stress, no more 12-hour days, 7 days a week, right? When I tell you that you slow down to speed up, that you do less and you make more, but it truly does work.
It does.
It truly works.
It really does.
I can feel a lightness, like there's not a heaviness. And for me, a lot of the times the heaviness would come from working a lot or feeling like I always had to be working.
I'm able to do the growth work that I'm choosing to do. The flow keeps getting easier and more graceful. That's really what's true. I love making a difference in our world. And in that, I don't think age is a factor.
Welcome back to the Manifested Podcast with Kathleen Cameron. I am so grateful and so blessed to sit here today with someone that has done something magnificent, something that inspires me, and something that has been on my vision board for some time, and she's done it. So we're going to talk today about a $122 million goal being realized, how that happened, what that means, and how you can learn from her as well. Okay, so welcome, Cindy, to my beautiful Malibu home, or now our podcast studio. I'm so grateful to have you here with us today.
Thank you so much. And it's grateful to be here. And it's just so stunningly beautiful. I mean, the ocean, the mountains, you're very blessed.
It's so beautiful to have you here because it has been a vision of mine to have the Malibu house and to have the ocean views and to be out in the nature. And I had visualized this moment of recording the podcast in my house and doing content. So like you ringing the doorbell and showing up here was part of my vision, my end result vision. So we're literally living in an end result right now. So how special.
Yeah, and I'm grateful to be a part of that. So thank you.
So I would love for us to chat today because, you know, the goal of this podcast is to share stories that are really inspiring, motivating from everyday people that are doing what some would say are extraordinary things, right? And so I would love for you to tell the audience, like, what is this extraordinary thing that we're celebrating for you right now? You and your team are celebrating. And then we'll go back and we'll look at how did you do that and why that's been so magical. But what's that goal that you've accomplished that you guys are so proud of?
It's very exciting. We're at 122 million, which is just such an accomplishment because I never thought that I would ever be close to that 100 million. And we've exceeded it. And it's been graceful and just a easy, steady growth process through the work.
That's so beautiful. And we're still 6 weeks left in the year, right? So you're going to blow past the 100 million quite a bit by the end of the year. And so this is over 100 million in sales revenue, essentially, you and your team. And you are in the financial services. So maybe just tell them a little bit about what you do and how you help people.
Sure. So I am a mortgage lender and I help people really, in my opinion, find their dream home and secure that sacred home for themselves. So our team focuses on providing lending services for their home.
Yeah, and when I heard you speak, we have a day that we spent together called CEO Day, where I sit with, I think there was like 17 other CEOs, and we sat in Toronto and we talked about leadership and casting a vision. I was really moved by your vision. Everybody in that room was moved by your vision, you know, and how it's not just about helping somebody to get lending. It's actually about helping somebody to find the most sacred thing there is, which is the safety of having a home. I thought that was so special, but I thought it was a testament to why you're achieving the success that you are, why people want to come to you to help them find that, because your underlying vision, purpose, and goal is filled with so much love and so much heart. So what I would love for you to share with the audience is before you really started to hone in on what we call this work, you know, these principles, this way of being, what was the call that you had or the pull that led you to kind of find this information? Were you feeling stressed, overwhelmed? Were things taking time? Like, what was that pull within you?
So this industry as a whole is a hustle. I mean, it is 12 hours a day, 7 days a week, and it just never slows down. And it's just constant go, 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 go. And Shay, who I work with, she had found you, and she said, I think we should listen to her. So we were both in an office that day, and she was out there. I closed my door because we're both listening to you separately. And that's when you were offering to do Millionaire and Modern Mentor. And I just immediately, like, there was this inner call. This is it. This is This is it. And so I just signed up immediately, not realizing the gift you were going to bring me. Had no idea the shift that was going to happen and what was going to occur that was just amazing in a very short time.
The decision to invest in yourself, it sounds to me like that was easy. Has it always been easy for you to do that? Or was there a little bit of like, yikes, I don't know?
You know, I think there's always that intrepidation a little bit, but it's just a leap. Yeah. And that's really what it was. It was the decision, the desire so deeply inside for it to be different. And it just was that feeling. And, you know, you have that feeling that comes and you either jump and roll with it, or you allow fear to come in and overlay it, and then you never make that leap. And I just said, I'm doing it. Jen was my manifestation mentor, immediately reached out and said, I'm doing this. What do I got to do?
I love what you said. Your desire was so strong for it to be different, right? So sometimes people don't know exactly what they want. They don't have a clear vision and they don't have a clear picture. Like they might not have their purpose yet, or they might not have the business. And they always feel like that's a problem or an issue, because if you don't know what you're going towards, then how do you move? But I love how you said that the desire was actually just for different. Yes. Like no more hustle. Yes. Like no more grind, no more stress, no more 12-hour days, 7 days a week, right? So your desire to move away from the experience you were having has led you to a new one.
Right. It's incredibly different. I was working every Saturday and Sunday. I mean, that's part of, you know, you didn't really have that break. Yeah, it's just part of the industry because you're always kind of on call.
And so are you still working Saturdays and Sundays now?
Very rarely. Every once in a while I'll get a call, but no. I mean, for the most part, they're back to me.
Yeah, you got your time back.
Yes, I did.
Yeah, and so the difference now then, you mentioned, you know, hitting the 122 million in sales revenue. I think you're going to do past 150 mil by the end of the year.
That's my vision.
Like if anything and all things are possible, right?
Yes, that's my end result.
Okay, so I didn't know that. Yes. I just felt that. So, but to do that now, you mentioned how you're doing it with like ease and with grace. Mm-hmm. So what do you think has made the difference?
This just to kind of back up a little bit. When I first started your program, I was on a sales call with our entire team in the company, and my regional manager said, "Well, what do you think you're going to close out this year? Just what do you think?" And this was like in September, so I just started your work, just started embodying everything, and we were like 30 million just for myself. And I said, "I'm going to close out at 60. Like that's what I'm going to do." And just to embodying your work and doing it, shifted from ease and grace. And in December, I was only like at 40 million. And I was like, I'm still holding this vision. We closed at 57 million. So what is that? Never letting go, ease and grace, huge month, 17 million in 1 month.
Wow, that's so beautiful. 17 million in 1 month. Wow, this is amazing. And so that was 2024. And so now 2025, you're going to be blowing past 150 million. That is like more than 3 times without more hustle. Like you're not working more hours. Like
no,
you
I'm
were
working
just
less.
You were just in Costa Rica with me at a retreat. Yes. So
was in Toronto twice in September. So I mean, I'm able to do the growth work that I'm choosing to do and ease into, and it just the flow keeps getting easier and more graceful. Mm-hmm. That's really what's true.
Yeah, I love your language. And you can even feel in your vibration a lightness. I was saying this before we started recording. I can feel a lightness, like there's not a heaviness. Right. And for me, a lot of the times the heaviness would come from working a lot or feeling like I always had to be working. And so to no longer work a Saturday and Sunday when you've always been doing it, it's a surrender.
Yes, it is. It really is. It's just knowing, even if I'm being pulled, I'm like, no, that's no longer true.
Yeah. It's no longer true that I have to work 24/7.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
Right.
And it's hard to tell people when we say that, like, trust when I tell you that you slow down to speed up, that you do less and you make more. But it truly does work.
It does.
It truly works.
It really does. It was interesting in Costa Rica, even Shay, who's my assistant, said to me, this is the first time you have completely signed off and not got onto any computers, and I did that the entire time I was there, which was a big deal for me. And I could see the shift just in that, allowing that, it opened up even more.
So with this newfound ease and flow and grace and things excelling and expanding, you're doing the inner work. And so this isn't just that you signed up for a course and spend some time with me and that's it. There's inner work that's going on inside of yourself. So can you tell us a difference between Cindy, the way you were showing up before when you were doing 30 mil in a year versus Cindy doing 150 mil? What is a difference that you can give us?
So I think one of the biggest things is I'm definitely working on embodying I'm the most self-aware person that you'll ever meet, because it is about every time observing my thoughts continually and looking internally at that. Because what happens for me is that I will have a thought come through that's unaffirming to what I'm choosing to have as an end result. And I have to go back in then and say, where is that coming from? Why is that thought there? And then replace it with what I'm choosing. But in embodying that new choice though, because the unconscious is still there.
No, that makes complete sense. And I think this is what I refer to as like kind of disciplining my thinking process. Okay. And so in that disciplining of it, there first is an awareness or observation, and then there's a switch towards the elevated version. So it's not that you wake up suddenly in the morning and you're like, okay, I'm the new Cindy today, and every thought's going to follow and coincide with that forever.
No, it doesn't do that at all.
No,
yeah.
But it's the observe and then move to the new belief system. Of course, if there's fears and underlying patterns showing up, we look at them and we reprogram them. But on a day-to-day basis to say, oh, that doesn't sound very KCB of me today. How can I actually think like KCB would? And that's kind of something that I put in my mind on a regular basis.
And I'm similarly, one of the things when we were talking earlier about our volume for this year and what we've been doing, this is one of the toughest years. I mean, in the last 15 years, this is the toughest year, and yet we're excelling beyond what other teams are doing, way beyond. And it's an interesting fact because that is part of that. It's disciplining from my side, not listening to what the outer world is saying, not even listening to, I went to another sales conference. I'd never been to one, but I had won one within our company. So I went, and there was so many voices that were saying, just repeating constantly what they were creating.
It's hard right now.
Yes,
yeah.
And I can't make it. I'm only doing one loan a month. But yet they're reaffirming that continually. So the result is going to only be that.
Yeah. And this is what I call like disregarding the appearance of things or disregarding the observed world, right? So if we continue to live from a place where we're developing our thinking from what we see, you going to that conference and you saying, oh yeah, well, this is going to be hard. The market's really bad right now. Nobody's buying houses. Real estate's dropped. The economy's terrible. Then you're going to start thinking from that and you're going to close your mind. Right? You're going to create resistance, but you've kept your mind open. You've kept your mind open to the possibility of things, right? And even talking about last year and how you went from 30 to 57 million, you could have set yourself a $60 million goal for this year.
Absolutely.
Right? But you didn't. You set yourself 100.
Yes.
Surpass that, and now 150, right? So maybe we need to go to 200, Cindy.
I think that's a perfect thing.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
And so this is like the expansion of the mind and allowing the mind to see something that it once didn't see as possible, which then makes it possible, and then we self-express. One of the things that I hear a lot, I have a lot of women that follow me, and I have a lot of women that would say that they're in like their later careers, or they would say that they're close to retirement or something like that. And they have certain like thoughts about this and certain beliefs. And I do think that it limits their capacity. But what I find so beautiful about you is you actually don't see that as a limit at all. So tell me what you said to me before we started recording.
Oh my gosh, I don't even remember now. I feel like I'm just beginning.
That's what you said.
Okay, yeah. I mean, it's really like I have this excitement about really bringing in and growing a team and then helping them to expand through these, what your teachings are, and a lot of them embodying that this work can be fulfilling and fun, and you can still have time for your family and yourself. And it's like, I just feel like I'm just beginning. Like I feel like I'm in my 40s. I feel like because most people in their 40s are just really launching. That's where I feel like I am right now.
Oh, I love this. I don't even know how old you are, like according to your birth certificate. But I'm in my 40s, and I do feel like I'm just beginning as well. I just feel like I'm launching. That's a mindset. It's a way of seeing the world. It's an attitude, right? And I don't feel like time is running out. Or I don't feel like so much time has already gone by that I should be further along either. Right. And I think those are the two kind of ways that people limit their mindset and their thinking, is by thinking time's running out, or so much has gone by and it's been too long, I'm far behind, or I'm lagging in some way. I don't feel that from you.
I don't feel that way at all. I mean, I think it is truly just a mindset. I love to serve. I love making a difference in our world. And in that, I don't think age is a factor. I think we show up, we give, and we serve, and then we just keep doing that. And it's fun. I mean, every day is another day, and every day I get something new. And a lot of the team and the people that you're with, everybody's so exciting and they have so much vibrance. Like, that's what life is about. So embracing that vibrance and embracing all the changes that can make your life even more richer and fuller.
I love that. And you've referred a little bit to your team. And I know you said you don't teach them this work directly, but it is influencing them. So in what ways do you help your team to live kind of according to the work without like sitting there with a whiteboard and like teaching it to them?
So a lot of it is through suggestion and just, I think, modeling the behavior and modeling what's possible. But we have one of our team members, and she was sharing how she wanted to do, she was making some shifts, and I said, well, let's talk about your identity, and started just sharing simple terms and words that you really share with us. And all of a sudden, she's taken on this whole different persona of who she's choosing to be and how she's going to show up. And within the team itself, I looked at this just because I wanted to be able to share this. Everyone has increased their service level at least 50% through just suggestive work of what we're doing.
Wow, that's so beautiful.
So, and one of them is like 367%.
Oh,
I mean,
wow.
That's how much they've shifted in 1 year. And it's because just doing this work.
Yeah, your embodiment of it. And this
Right.
is leadership. And this is the way that I always really, really like to lead, is by being an example and being the embodiment. So that's why I said I'm going to be my own best testimonial first, so that
Right.
I be it. People can see how I be it. And even if I don't necessarily teach it, like I don't sit and teach my girls this work, but they say things and I'm like, oh yeah, they're listening, they're paying attention, like they're modeling without fully knowing it. And so for your team to be modeling it like this from you is just a testament to the leadership style that you have, right?
Thanks, yeah. And I love this leadership style.
Yeah, and I got to meet your beautiful daughter in Costa Rica. She came and spent some time with us. And what does she think about you and this work? And like when you first started getting into it, and like what does she think now?
Both my daughters are actually just really blown away, but Ashley was very expressive and even expressed coming to the Rise Retreat next year because she could see all the things that were happening, from a distance, but yet seeing. And just even every night I came back to the room and just the shift that was happening. And you can see the shift what they love most is how present I am. Like, I'm so much more available, and I'm not picking up the phone constantly and doing these things. Because at one time that was just part of everything that we did. That was just an accepted behavior. It's no longer there. It doesn't occur.
Yeah, that's really beautiful. I grew up with a father that was like that, where calls would come in all the time and we would be used to like, okay, and we would go on a family vacation and he'd have his laptop with him all the time, and even I was at, after we were done the Rise Retreat, and I went to the Four Seasons and I spent a few days there, and we were sitting by the pool and I looked over and there was 5 people in chairs, and all 5 of them had laptops on their lap. Like they were on vacation at the Four Seasons Costa Rica with laptops on their lap. And I thought, wow, this is the type of world that we've gotten to, where people are literally working 24/7, even next to the pool. And they might even say like, oh, look at me, this is the life, working next to the pool. But I think the real flex is what you just said about the presence that you have, right? So you're sitting up here and you're sharing with everybody that you've reached 122 million in your business, but you're also sharing that you've been present with your family and that you no longer work Saturdays and Sundays. So that's what I find the most inspiring thing about your story, Cindy, is not necessarily the numbers, but the numbers and the time that you're gaining back to yourself.
I had to relearn how to relax on Saturday. and to do something different on Saturday or Sunday or in the evening to say, oh, I'm not going to work into this evening. I'm going to actually eat dinner at the table versus in front of the computer. So those things these habits start shifting and your whole life changes. I mean, it's a huge, big deal for me, and it's been incredibly life-changing.
Yeah, that's really beautiful. I had to relearn how to relax on Saturdays.
That's just how it was, because I didn't know how to. I didn't understand how to.
I know the feeling. Yeah. I know the feeling. Even for me, I remember when we lived in Guelph, Ontario, Canada, and I was working in healthcare and I had a director position. And I remember the only time that Chris and I would ever get time together would be we would watch a show. At the end of the day, we'd do bed, bath, put the kids to sleep and everything. And then him and I would get that time. And every single time we would watch TV, I would be on my computer or my phone working.
Yeah.
Right? And so I got used to that. So I had to relearn how to actually watch TV.
Right.
Now I don't really care to watch TV.
I understand.
I'd rather read a book.
Right.
I'd rather do a visualization or meditation, or I'd rather be with myself and journal or something, my bath every night, that's replaced my TV. But I will watch TV with someone to do something with them to enjoy the space. But I'm certainly not on my phone working and laptop open anymore.
It's a big difference. The other thing that's such a huge thing is I have my phone on silent all the time now, where I used to have it where any text message, any voice, I wanted to be on it right now. I don't have that pull anymore. There's not this, it was almost like a desperation, an underlying
You need to respond
desperation.
now.
Right. And that's no longer there. It's just, there's a knowing that everything is fine, and I don't have to be on point every second.
Oh, I love that. That's peace.
Yeah, it is peace. It's an internal peace that's really nice. So.
Okay, so we're going into 2026. We already know what you're going to end 2025 in. What is the furthest thing that you can observe in your mind for Cindy and Cindy's team in 2026?
My end result is really 100 new people on our team. That's really what it is. Because my true vision is to be closing 100 million a month.
100 million a month. I haven't even thought that big. I love this. She's expanding my mind. 100 million a month. What's 100 million a month over the course of a year?
Well, that's $1 billion. $1.2 billion.
Look at this one. I love this. And the biggest thing that I'm observing with this, Cindy, is that there's very little resistance to that idea in you. You're all love and light, and you're just in joyful expectation of it. I am. And the thought of it was actually 2 years ago, and I feel like I had to grow to where I was ready for your work. I really do believe that, because when you showed up, I was like, this is it. I'm here.
And I think anybody you show up to, it's because they're calling you in. I really believe that about your work.
I do say that. I do honestly feel like there's no coincidences, and I never come uninvited. And so I always say, if there's a moment in your life where I come in, it's on purpose and it's divine time. Exactly. And any reason that says otherwise is often not the truth. The truth is the teacher appears when you're ready to learn. I love that. Well, Cindy, I am so blessed and grateful for you to have shared this with us today. We're going to go out. We're going to go to Nobu, Malibu. And we're going to get some late lunch today. We're going to do some other interviews. But for those that are listening and they're kind of thinking about wanting to make a change in their life and kind of leap like you have, what would be the last little bit of advice that you would give them?
I would say it's waiting for you. And all you have to do is say yes. And just say yes to yourself, because it's really saying yes to yourself.
Yeah, and I love this too. We're reading a book together as part of our inner circle. And one of the things that the author of the book said was that the yes is actually your connection to source. The divinity within, the creative intelligence within is ignited by the yes. And so the fact that you just said that's really beautiful, really powerful. Well, thank you so much for being here. Until next time. And please remember that the limit does not exist.